All right, guys, let's take a look at this very cool Citizen Signature Collection. I believe they're calling it the Courageous. I think that's what this one's called. There's a few different colorways of this, but big thanks to my buddy Robert for sending this over and exposing yet another really cool lineup from a well-respected brand. Certainly, you know, you have a solar watch here, and it's quartz. But let's get into some specs and then we'll talk a little bit about it. If you're looking for details on how to set this, because it is perpetual calendar, I am not going to set it. I'm not going through the functions of setting it. I will go through a couple of quick functions, but there's a manual here, but even the manual doesn't cover it all. You would have to go online and look up the movement, the caliber E820, and you'll be able to find all the information you want to know if you want to geek out on this thing. That's not what this video is going to be. So case size on this is 43 millimeter, not including the crown guards or pushers or crown. 47.85 lug to lug, so a little bit shorter on the lug to lug. That's kind of nice. It helps with the multiple wrist size, you know, application. 12 millimeter thick, but you can see sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a very good coating actually on this one. And 22 millimeter lug width here. Comes on this really nice leather strap. There are some models with bracelets. The bracelets look good too, but this leather is plenty good. It's genuine crocodile actually. So these were kind of higher end, more expensive watches as far as what you would expect to pay for from a Citizen Eco Drive. Retail price on these when they were available. They're discontinued, I know, sorry guys, but that might be good for you potentially, because you might be able to find some, you know, secondhand eBay or wherever source you want to look for in the more affordable range, because the retail on these was $975. So basically $1,000 for this guy, and you have pretty much a watch that has everything. So my buddy Robert was looking for sapphire crystal, perpetual calendar, chronograph, you know, and solar. And I remember there was even more things I think on the list, but I remember he gave a small chat group we have. He gave a list of the wants in a watch, and pretty much everybody in that chat was like, yeah, that's not going to happen, dude. That watch doesn't exist. Well, it does. He found it. It's basically this watch. So it's pretty stunning to look at too. So we talked about the size, bezel action, 120 click. Not the best sounding bezel. Let's get through this real quick together, guys. But it works. So, and it looks cool. I like how it's, I'm trying to think who does that. It's where the metal is like milled out sort of thing. So it's kind of premium looking to me, because I like metal bezels. So it has that metal aspect of it, but then it also has the inlay, like the grooves and stuff. So if we zoom in on this guy, we can take a closer look at that dial, because this dial is absolutely spectacular, the way it catches light. So you have, obviously the solar panels are going to be in those sub dials, and that's why they kind of look glossy. That's the solar panels. But the rest of the dial has a very cool, like almost engine turned appeal to it, and radiates from the center. You have a really nice handset there that is chamfered and full polished, so you have extreme legibility in multiple lights, applied indices. You have a seconds hand that's a center post / chronograph hand if we put it in a chronograph function. So it utilizes the center seconds hand, I guess, in this case right now, and it hits all of the marks. There's even a function on this to realign the hands. So this is a really good module, and it does a bunch of other things as well. So date over here at the 4 o'clock position. Doesn't upset the balance of the dial, I don't think, because there's already a lot going on anyway. So I think there's plenty of room for it. And then, of course, you have the perpetual calendar alarm, you know, and there's a bunch of things that I don't even know how to use. So even setting up the initial setup on one of these is pretty wild to get into. But we'll zoom, well, no, we'll do it right here. So if you want this lower sub dial here at the 6 o'clock, it's split in half, but it has, wherever cycle you go on it, it's going to do the same thing. It's just split in half. So if you pop the crown, it's a non-screw down crown, even though it's a 20 bar or 200 meter. You pop it out to the first position. Now what you're going to do in that position is you're going to cycle that sub dial down below. Right now it's on time. If you move it forward one like that, you're going to be in chronograph. Now you push it in. Now that's no longer a seconds hand, that's a chronograph hand. So you go ahead and get it started. It does a full sweep to let you know that it's doing it, and then it starts, it picks up. So, you know, and you can stop it. You can reset, you know, you have a split timer to reset it. Basically, you just hold this down and it'll reset. Then you pop the crown out. You can go to, you know, different functions. I don't remember what the LTM is for. And then there's the alarm, and then you're basically back to time. So, but the hands will move out of the way depending on what function you're doing. And then you go ahead and push it back in, and it was keeping seconds in the background of the module. So while you're messing around with it, it's still counting all that. It's still keeping time. So I'll take a look at the case back here real quick, because it is pretty cool. It is the Signature Collection screw down case back, and there's some information there. The other thing I want to point out, the booklet that comes with it is pretty slick. I think the packaging on this is actually top notch. It's all soft touch. And check out this case. It's all like suede blue. And then check this out. This is actually like a legit pillow. I might use this to take a nap on later. That's crazy. I've never seen a large pillow like that. I don't understand the purpose of it, but it's cool nonetheless. Even this packaging back here is all soft to touch and cushiony. So I think it's a great package. Like, the box on it is actually sweet. So let's pop this guy on wrist real quick, and then we'll do a loom shot. If you were wondering what I was wearing, my titanium G-Shock square. So let's pop this guy on wrist real quick if I can. Sometimes I struggle with this stuff like I am now because the keeper came off its float. So, all right. No, it is not my first time putting a watch on. And look, I'll even put it up on my wrist a little bit further. I have it a little bit too tight right now. But you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, that shorter lug to lug, that 47.85, even though it's a 43 millimeter watch, makes it wear great. So I would loosen it up one notch. But the strap is actually very nice. And then it's just got a double pusher, and it's a simple to use strap. So it's easy to adjust too. You just flip this up and then move it one notch. I don't know if I moved it one notch or not, but anyway, you get the point. So let's kill the lights, check the loom, because I babbled long enough. If you guys have any questions, I guess chime off in the comments, and hopefully somebody will answer it. I probably won't. So if that's helpful or not, too bad. So if I can find a video on the instructional video on how to use the E820, I will link it in the description. Maybe that'll help you. But I don't have any links to buy this watch other than this actual watch, but that's pretty much going to get bought up by my Patreon group. Which, speaking of, if you want to join my Patreon group, I'll put a link down below too. Citizen Cool Blue Loom on the hands and the indices, and a touch of green up there at the pip on the bezel. So nice loom, well done. So was it worth $1,000 retail price? Well, I think yes. However, I'm not sure anybody ever really paid retail for these. So is it worth the price on the secondary market from like $250 to $500? Yeah. You might want to go start looking for the Citizen Signature Collection, because they are all top-notch watches. So big thanks to Robert for sending it in, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.